Yeah, hold up. Listen, yo. Yo, what up? A lot of times it seems that I'm optimistic. It's not that I'm different, just wanna be around things and show that it's terrific. Listen, when I was young, I used to be the only Muslim. Wanna be around boys that tripped off fun like I did. Judge them shoes, we was all kids. Yo. Gotta put the crowd in, y'all know what time it is. Yeah, what's up? Yo, this Hot Blast, you know what I mean? I'm coming with another one. I'm trying to get the rhythm of the YouTube. Organically, I'm doing alright, but I gotta get them subscribers up. So, listen, I'm trying to reach 1,000 so I can start monetizing, doing what everybody else doing. I'm an old head in the game, so I'm trying to figure it out. These young cats, they got it together. So sometimes I see my numbers go up in a day and it be like 900. My best video I think is like 1,700. I know to y'all like, what? That ain't. But I heard that it's good because it's organic, right? So I'm trying to make it work. But anyway, yo, man, we here. This joint I'm about to do, man, I'm always talking about Philly hip-hop, and I'm always talking about, not to say that nobody ain't do Philly hip-hop, because I know a lot of stories on there about Philly hip-hop, but I like to use reference, and I like to use stuff that people did already to represent that knowledge that I'm getting. Because when you write a book, you got to have reference, and you got to get your information from a source that was already done. And then I'm just elaborating my part of the story on it. So I'm always using my man James Spady, because James Spady, when he was here, when he was resting illa forever, you know what I mean? Rest in peace, James G. Spady, because he wrote an awful amount of history and studies on hip-hop. Like, he wrote so much stuff on the in-depth of hip-hop. It's incredible. But we're going to go into Pop Art Records. You know what I'm saying? Boom, man. Y'all know Lawrence Goodman, LG, was a major part. In Philly, we laid a lot of foundations. Like Schoolie D going down south and coming up, and then starting his own record label. MC Breeze starting his own record label, writing on his joint, doing all kinds of, graffiti on the joint. Like, at the time, that was our style of graffiti. I know that's how I wrote a lot of stuff. I got comic books where I'm showing my style. Y'all gonna see that at the beginning. And that was the style at that time. Where you wrote the cats with some glasses on and boxes and stuff like that. So I come from that. I love that type of style. Now, everybody had their own way of how they did it. But Schoolie D, when he did that on his art thing, that's what I saw coming up. Not from Schoolie D, but from just people writing on the wall. And you writing, you know what I mean? You doing it. So I kind of got a style similar to that, but I still even got my own way of how I did stuff and how I write comic books and how I do stuff. But it's hip-hop, and Philly is in-depth with this hip-hop. So let's go to Pop Art Records, right? Like I said, a lot of stuff I'm going to be talking about. Spady wrote a lot of that stuff, but this is what we was observing. He just gave some context to what I already was thinking. Now, I'm listening to the radio in my room on 42nd Street down in West Philly. I mean, not with Will Smith and Steady Being on them. To me, they was in the good part of West Philly. But down the bottom, 42nd Street, all around there, even down the bottom, they call us down the bottom, but even 42nd Street in Underworld in the bottom, they be a little friction with where's the bottom and where's that. But everybody else considered across Lancaster Avenue the bottom and down. Like, you had the world, which they called the underworld, and stuff like that. But 42nd Street, I'm in the house, I ain't gonna get into that, but I'm into the house and I'm listening to the radio just like everybody else. We waiting to hear Lady B, or we got in 42nd Street. We had an underground radio station with Trevor Flash. Trevor Flash was from B Force, and he was with this boy named Billy, which was a friend of ours. You know what I mean? And they would be on the radio jiving and saying stuff, and it was a lot of B Force dudes on that underground radio. MC Breeze, a lot of cats. So I'm listening to that underground pirate radio station as well, and they just had some equipment. I wrote about that in the book. But anyway, I'm hearing Roxanne, Shante. I'm hearing MC Shan. Now, I thought MC Shan was from West Philly. I thought he was from down the bottom 47. I'm like, who is this dude? The way he rhyming, the recording was real underground-ish. It was real echoey. I just thought that was done around our way. He remind me of a West Philly down the bottom type dude. So I thought that was who that was. And then you hear MC Breeze, and then you hear Study B and Kool C, and they on Pop Art Records, and you hear, these the disc crew, the Juice Crew disc and all that. And you got to understand, Pop Records was the thing, along with the Word Up Records, which was their brother. But just like Pop Art Records, you got who's always backing the records and always backing the record label and getting things, the wheels running? A woman. So you had Ann Goodman. She was a major part of helping the Pop Art Records. Now, this before Shante even got signed. They heard, according to James Spady, they heard in the Scoop, we got this thing called the Scoop newspaper. It's a North Philly newspaper. James Spady wrote significant hip hop in the Scoop magazine and the New Observer. That was another free black newspaper. So he's bringing us this real commentary to our underground papers. So he dropping real science on pop art and how they first got started and how it was because of them. Again, y'all heard the story that Juice Crew and the whole Cold Chillen Records even got started. And Spady, he points out how they were significant in doing that. And he gets detailed. He drops how Ann Goodman is always a woman. See, that's what I want to add to it. I love that James Spady talks about Lawrence Goodman and the woman's side. Lawrence Goodman, the man, of course, he did a lot. But Ann Goodman, she was popping, bro. She was making the wheels turn, and she was getting stuff done. When they went up to Roxanne Shante projects and they heard her, and Spady writes how they thought she was feisty, Shante was feisty, but they heard the record that they did and said, we're going to play that down here in Philly. We got Lady B. Lady B, remember, she was the first to get recorded as an MC. So they was already used to this. Ann Goodman and Lawrence Goodman, they in the record label. But how did they get in the record label? See, y'all don't know how deep Philly is. I keep trying to tell y'all, right? Spady wrote, again, James G. Spady is a major writer. So I'm combining a major writer with hip hop. He also did this thing called the Global Cypher. He did the Nation Conscious Rap and Street Conscious Rap. He did a kind of 3-series book along with Samir McGilly and Aleem and Sammy Aleem. And what's the other book they got? My man is in it. What's his name? Charles G. Lee was in the and H. Sammy Aleem was in the Street Conscious Rap, right? That's a book James Spady wrote. James Spady is a major part of writing thorough hip hop, right? But he talks about Pop Art Records, and he talks about how Ann Goodman went up to hear Shante, and they heard Shante, and they said, you need to come down to Philly, and they put the battery in the back of Cold Chillen. It wouldn't have been no Cold Chillen if they wouldn't have showed them how to do it, because they was already putting out records. You gotta understand, Georgie Woods ran radio down here way before I was born. And it was a few other key partners, and I'm not going to get into that, but Spady, James G. Spady, a major writer in hip-hop, a hip-hop historian, probably the best hip-hop historian I ever came across. The dude was vicious because he get real in-depth stories. Nasheed, he's coming out with his hidden hip-hop joint. He's right about a lot of that, what he's doing, but Spady, he did a lot of that. He probably got a lot of his history from a lot of Spady's scholared work. The Spady wrote in a lot of his stuff. So remember, I'm using James Spady as to back my reference up. But again, getting back to Pop Art Records, right? Let's give it up for James Spady, by the way. Yeah. James Spady is a major player because he was an in-depth writer for hip-hop, and he especially talked about Philly. But let's get back to Pop Art Records. Pop Art Records, Ann and Goodman, they went up, they seen, according to James Spady, they went up and they saw Roxanne Shante, and they heard that song that she had dissing y'all know who they was dissing. They was dissing UTFO. And they said, we're going to show y'all how to move that record. And tell her they connected with this boy, according to James Spady. I got to keep going back to James Spady because I got to make sure you understand who's dropping this knowledge in history and putting it in its context. James G. Spady. And this you can find in the Scoop, U.S. paper, a free black paper. You know how major that is, a free black paper, and Spady is giving you scholared work in a free black paper, and he talks about Pop Art Records, and he drops the knowledge and how they were major in getting this Cold Chillen record off the ground along through Pop Art Records. And Spady goes in, he talks about who were some of the other players. I think of a guy named Melvin that was in Jersey. He worked at one of the, y'all had Crazy Eddie's in New York. Well, we had Gola Electronics. Y'all could have had that, but that was in Jersey and Philly, and you got your records there, and Funko Mark, and Sound of Market, and Armads, and all these different places, and King James up in off of 52nd Street, and off of Ray Street, and so Lawrence Goodman and Ann Goodman, right? They were the power couple. They were the Jay-Z and Beyonce of the underground hip-hop world. And Shante came to Philly and got her start, just like Kool C said in the Juice Crew diss. It's true. It's absolutely true, right? Because they understood how to push the records because they had the knowledge of independent radio in Philly back in the 60s. That's all I'm going to tell y'all. I'm not going to get into that because Spady, again, see, I like to pull the writer and where I get some of my information from, because it's just like when I write a journal or I'm writing an essay and I got to use reference. I can't just write it from my own knowledge. I got to show the reference. So I can't say this is mine, but I'm going to tell you what is mine. As a youngin', being in Philly, I'm listening to pop art. I'm listening to all these things from Breeze, Schoolie D. I'm like, these dudes come from around my way. These dudes, that's what made me know I could do this. Of course I heard Run DMC sucking MCs. Of course I heard Rappers Delight, which is the reason I got in this hip-hop game from the rip, okay? Of course I seen my man Rod and them breakdancing, and I thought it was an Irish dance, and I'm like, what is this? What y'all doing? And then that very day that I saw it, they taught me, and I became a hand-spinning handmaster hop. And my homie named me after another dude from the B-Force, which was a DJ squad that had MCs and dancers and steppers and DJs, and you had the boy Disco Dave that was the leader of the B-Force, and then they had a rapper, which is MC Breeze putting out records, and you seeing those records, and you like, yo, they putting out records the way I would put out records. Put graffiti on it, write your joint, go in the basement, go find somebody that know how to make some banging beats and put it out, and they got big. And so did Study B, and so did Kool C, and I'm in West Philly, and I'm listening to these records, and I'm going nuts like these dudes are from around my way. How are they doing this? How are they putting out these records? Ann Goodman, Lawrence Goodman, Pop Art Records. You go to the record store and you see pop art. You see Word Up Records. They write in graffiti the way we do. And graffiti in Philly is way different. We doing wickets. We doing wild, crazy styles. We wilding out. And I see Schoolie D writing graffiti on his joint. That's how we thought. And Pop Art Records, that was like going to New York. I was trying to find it. Where they at? Who are they? Well, how they know how to do all this? They getting it in, right? Getting it in early. Cold Chillen ain't get popping yet. No, they getting it in. So they tell Fly Ty, which y'all know is Tyrone or Ty, whatever. They tell him, come to Philly. We're going to show you how to do it. A woman. It's always women at the back of hip hop turning the tables. We had Sylvia Robinson, Pillow Talk, and she put out Rapid Delight. Do they got discrepancies? All right, she probably, yeah. But it's a woman that knows how to keep them turns and keep them. And she talk about how she made all this money, and they was just popping, and they was getting it in. Pop Art Records in Philly. Schoolie D, PSK Records. MC Breeze and his records. B-Force. Pop Art helped Cold Chillen. Remember that. How? They understood because we had an underground radio record system in Philly since the 60s, probably further back than that. You got to understand, Georgie Woods is a part of that too. Spady goes into that. I'm a kid hearing these things. We even got Georgie Wood chips, which now y'all see rap snacks. We used to call them chumpy chips. The connection with that, I knew, my brother knew, we knew the people that owned that. Being in the Nation of Islam, it's deep. So, hip hop in Philly, again, I keep telling y'all, it's deep. How deep is hip hop in Philly? Part 2, Pop Art Records. Pop Art Records got the ball rolling. It was a family kind of affair type thing. Study B, he's connected to Ann Goodman, I believe. Putting him out. He was a smart dude. When she tells it, according to James Spady, when you got certain references. I'm listening as a kid in West Philly going, yo, I want to be down, right? I want to put my records out. But I'm a fan. Listening. When I first heard the Juice Crew diss, where's that record? And I bought it, but I lost it. I can't believe it, but I bought it. But when I bought it, it didn't say New York. It said Pop Art Records. Everybody was looking for Pop Art Records to put their stuff out. Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince talks about it. He talk about it. Where's his book at? I got his book around here. This book, I'm in my what's the name chair. Hold on, let me get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm moving stuff around. He talks about it in his book, Will Smith. Right? So you gotta understand, hip hop in Philly is deep, baby. James Spady, a major writer in hip hop. Me being a kid, looking at these elements. PSK, we making that green. People always say, what the hell does that mean? P for the way. Like, you get it. Bad stuff, man. West Philly. West Philly was getting it in. North Philly is a mecca. You gotta understand, North Philly. How deep is Philly hip hop? Stop playing with us, bro. And just this is another. I'm gonna get into a whole nother segment because a lot of y'all think it's two levels of hip hop in Philly. We had the deep underground. We had the mainstream, which a lot of y'all from the 2000s, you remember Beans, Beanie Siegel, Beast. You remember Oskino, Beast. What's the boy name? Even Nina Ross, Beast. But they would be considered my young boys. What's the my man PD Crack, Beast, Emilio Sparks, which is actually from around my way. He ran with my homies that I grew up with. So you gotta now he probably know of me. I went, oh, okay, that's the young boy that ICH and my man Doodoo and it's deep. Philly hip hop is deep, bro. So I'm saying before they actually made it, the reason they got their shine, it was because guys like Pop Art, and then I'm young, then I'm coming up, putting out my stuff. Finally, I get my little time in the 90s, and they don't know me like that, but they probably know me. So people seen my stickers all around, but I'm coming off of because I seen what Pop Art Records did. I seen what MC Breeze did with his records and B-Force did, and I saw what Schoolie D did. So I'm coming off of that, right? And now I'm doing my thing in the 90s, low 90s, mid 90s, in the lower part, right? Now I'm in those meetings. I'm listening. They trying to come up and find who's the next Philly dude. But I'm coming from an independent standpoint. Then boom, here come 2000 with Beanie Siegel. All the Oskinos in the what's the other one? The Gillies, the Major Figures. You know, Rolex and all these guys and to here they come. We laid those grounds for them to explode. And they lyrics got more in depth. And them lyrics that Beans be speaking of and all that. And because I went to school in South Philly. I went to school at the Bach. And I knew some of the major, this thing deep. I wouldn't get too deep, but I know some of the people that probably, I went to school with some of the people that put some of these major people that everybody likes. So hip hop is great in Philly. Pop Art Records, Schoolie D, MC Breeze, and I'm talking about the main people we know. But it was deep. It wasn't just that came out of nowhere. How deep is hip hop? You know what I mean? James Spady gave us good journalism. Right? He wrote about me on stuff. My name Hot Blast. I'm looking at Pop Art come up. And boom, here we go. MC Shan. Roxanne and Shante, my fault. MC Shan. Then here comes Biz Markie. Big Daddy Kane. Craig G. I think what Granddaddy IU, I think he was on there. Master Ace. And all these guys. Kool G Rap. It wouldn't have been none of Kool G Rap. To me, they were like Philly type dudes. But it wouldn't have been that without Philly and Pop Art Records, Word Up Records, PSK, MC Breeze. I forget what MC Breeze called his label. What did he call it? Because I know I just always saw like B-Force on the bottom and Trevor Flash, a DJ, Ernie Earn, a DJ, Flash, a DJ. which is where I got my name. My man A Blue used to call me Handmaster Hot, which he got that from Handmaster Flash, I think, because that was his name, right? In B-Force. B-Force was a DJ squad down the bottom, in which MC Breeze, they were collaborative squad. How deep is Philly hip hop? Pop Art, y'all. Ann Goodman, a major woman in the record industry. James G. Spady, a major journalist in our hip hop Philly. All right? So how deep is Philly hip hop? That's all for now, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what time it is. Hot blast every time. Y'all know what it is. How deep is hip hop? Philly part 2. Peace. Yeah, hold up. Listen, yo. What up? Listen. A lot of times it seems that I'm optimistic. It's not that I'm different, just wanna be around things and show that it's terrific. Listen, when I was young, I used to be the only Muslim. Wanna be around boys that tripped off fun, like I did. Judge them, shoot, I ain't wanna get slid. We was all kids. 42nd and Ogden, that's where I live. Fresh Prince was on top, where the moms and pops had good jobs and shop for good clothes. West Philly bad joints probably was hoes. I don't know, I just said, how you doing? Can I talk you for a second? My boys is vexing. She like, you got a pen? I keep my weapon. I shut them all up. I called her up. She in the jacks. I give respect, cause I walk by a gang of boys. In LA, y'all call them sets. I put a hickey on her neck. Got a grind. Her pop showed up and whipped her behind. Damn, when she cried, she looked fine. The 80s was amazing. People's getting stabbed cause their windmills were crazy. Crazy. That's West Philly in the 80s, boy. Get a history lesson for your baby boys. That's West Philly in the 80s.